I knew immediately I was gonna end up redoing this. I already knew because I was like, I was going off. I had a pretty good run, but then I was just like, all right, I'm yapping a little bit too much. Sorry for the glare also right here, but I was yapping a little bit too much. But nonetheless, let's get this started. Let's kick it off. I don't know what I'm gonna call this video. Something August Ascension, something along the lines of that. Yeah, man, it's been a wild ride. I originally shot this video last night, but then I got this intuitive feeling to shoot it again today and shoot it out in some nature. And just, I love it. It's a cloudy day. It's like borderline rain. I love the rain. So probably the indigenous in me do the hey, but the Native American, whatever, I don't know, do a rain dance. But after I shot the first video of this, something insane happened after, and it's honestly, these things don't surprise me anymore, so I don't want to say it was insane, but it was really cool. An affirmation that I was doing to keep me I've been testing. I like to use these practices as like testing grounds. I love to test the boundaries of my mind ever since my awakening and the things that I could create. And I mean, a lot of the time you don't even have to do anything because your manifestation energy in already, like the whole persona that we have right here is manifested from your divine self, from source, your higher self, the self before the self. So there's really nothing you have to do, but the practices help focus your mind. And a lot of the practices, that's why I don't talk down on a lot of them, because they help you come into the realization that you are the I am consciousness and you are the awareness. But I like to use the techniques in times if I want to focus my mind really heavily on something I'm creating. So I've been just jumping straight to I am and just putting I am in front of certain things, or I'll let certain other things come. Like when I was in Texas, I literally didn't have to do anything. I was like, I see myself making $100,000 a year, and literally out of nowhere I ended up getting a call and an email from a job that apparently seen my resume somewhere, just offering, it was like brand ambassador offering $100K a year. And that's how easy this thing works. Like manifestation is always working. Let's go back to the basics. Well, manifestation isn't even a word. That's a word that we created out of source to just explain what you already are. But go back to the basics. Everything is energy, frequency, and vibration. So you just raise yourself to that level, and if you've broken down a lot of the money beliefs, financial beliefs, and everything you have, and you've really done the work, like we're talking to the ones who are getting up and doing the work right now, that get up and do the work, then you're gonna see results because you program your destiny. But anyways, this is all to preface the video with saying I'm about to go off in this. I got an intuitive sense to make this video, so let me deliver as much value as I can with everything I'm gonna say. And also, one thing I want to say is I know how this journey can be. It can feel very isolating at times. So this is just personally me, but if you ever need anyone to talk to, my DMs are open. I would say DM me on Samuel Rel, because these are the two channels connected to that. Though you can connect with me on Lunar Was Lost if you want to. There was like a Zoom call that I was in the other day that is like this little community that formed around a channel called Life is a Dream. And we had a fun Zoom call where me and his name is Tone. His earthly name is Tone, where we were bouncing off each other, laughing because you just feel the energy. And that's what I like to say too, is when you meet someone who's genuinely on the journey of awakening or has awakened and they're already channeling their higher self and they're just being their God self, it's like looking into a mirror. So just know, for anyone who's out there and feeling like you're not going to find your tribe, or maybe you never do, or something like that, let that go. Because as soon as you start raising your vibration, which you don't really need to raise your vibration, you got to take off the vibration that's lowering it, because you're naturally already a high vibrational being. But when you let that lower self go, you will start running into the people you're meant to meet, man. It is literally, there was a new place that I'm actually, I shouldn't even phrase it like that I'm moving to soon, that I wanted to meet someone who was from that place, and like I wanted them to be a native. I said I need to run into a native or something. And I literally, as Brother Panic brought up before, when people say, you know, let me sleep on it, I fell asleep while having that thought, and the next day I ran into someone who lived in that place for 14 years and was literally like, that's just the universe for you. And I was like, it's so funny. It's so funny. And I didn't end up wanting to go, which is so funny. I didn't really feel a calling to go to this place that I ended up meeting the person at. And that's always how it is, man. Your higher self is always working in it. You know, you could call it God, source, universe. I mean, if you're on this channel, we're past that, so you already know. We know what it is. But so I just want to preface this little intro with just saying, man, if you're checking out this video, feel free to message me. Feel free to be down below in the comments. If you know, I'm here. I'm on this journey still. I would say I'm like 80 to 90%. I don't know if that's even proper to say, but you know, let's get it. Let's start. Let's just start. Let's see where it goes, man. August Ascension. I don't know what I'm gonna call this video, but I think it's gonna be something along the lines of like August Ascension or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, I got a lot to say. So let's do it. So let's just kick it off. I wanna start this video by saying that you really don't need anything. Like, the mind is all. You know what's funny is I took the time to go back to my videos on Lunar Was Lost from 2 to like 3 years ago, where I talked about the 7 laws of the universe or the Hermetic principles, whatever. Kemetic, the name doesn't really matter because it's all the same thing. And I realized that literally somebody can read one of these laws and have everything they need, and they know that the mind is all, and just go with it. Like it could be like that. You guys kind of know what I'm saying. I'm saying like a lot because I'm trying to get that one moment can cause a realization that just shifts somebody's life completely in a different direction. And I think for a lot of people who read the Bible, which I just recently read it and laughed at how all the stories most of the stories mirror everything I went through in awakening. And even if they don't, I can literally shape them around a lot of everything I went through. But I bring this up because when you awaken, you really realize how everything is talking about you, though, in the journey, and not in a narcissistic, selfish human narrative kind of way, but in a way where the signs are really everywhere around you. Shoot, like, man, for a lot of Christians who talk about Christ, dude, if you read what Christ really was saying, he was talking about what happens to you. Like, I talked about it in a video, breaking down one of, Kendrick's songs, and saying, like, I realized that a lot of the things I went through were the crucifixion of me. Like, I was getting called devil with some of the stuff that I was predicting. I was getting called crazy. I was getting called out of my mind. And I realized, good, that was helping me. That a sign of that was showing me I was returning back to self. But, man, like, I think about this one. John 15:18. It literally, Christ just said it straight up. Remember, when they hate you, they hated me first. Because you're coming out of the world. But if you were a part of the world, they would love you as one of their own. But because you're coming out of the world, they are going to hate you. And I realized this shit is literally talking about awakening. When you awaken to all this stuff and you try to bring everyone with you, and again, I didn't find this directly, but I got to give a shout out to Tone. But I tried to find it. And I think I searched it one night and found something similar where Christ was like, who is my mother and who is my father? And he was literally saying, because I know you in spirit. So whatever this physical thing you've taken on isn't you. So it's like, until you awaken to that truth, we do not know each other. We're all the same in essence, but we do not know each other. Which that for me is a direct parallel to something I've heard somebody say before, which I love because I've come to understand that through experience instead of just reading it somewhere, is that the divine consciousness will not, it will not sound like the human consciousness. It's not going, you're going to sound completely different. And that's why there is this illusion of a divide, but it is a true divide that comes through. Because one thing that I love that was said a long time ago was literally like, if you're going to sound the same as you were before, where was the change? Where was the change? What are we talking about? That's how you know that this is a genuine work that somebody has to do to return to their self, because you've taken on these conditions that are going to lock you down in this realm that you then have to shed and take off. That's why when it comes to meditation and a lot of manifestation techniques talking about detachment, you have to detach from the very world that you conditioned yourself to. So there's not going to be an amount of beloveds and grand rising that are going to get you back to self. It's going to be a natural journey to get back to self. Now, I'm not talking down on all those, because all of those tools can be used to get you back to self. But I knew from when I first awakened, I did not connect with anyone saying grand rising. I didn't even, and I say this as a joke and I laugh about it, I haven't even unironically said grand rising. Because once you realize that words are spells, and that once you know something and you recognize it and you identify it, it takes its power away. We don't have to switch up the language that much, as long as you know what you're saying, you know. But you don't have to stop saying good morning and stuff. Like, that was the biggest illusion for me, because it'll be those types of people, and I don't mean it in any bad way, because it's all connected and all together, but it'd be those types of individuals who will be telling me to get back in alignment when I'm over here manifesting things coming in my life. Like, I'll manifest people to appear. I will literally predict things to happen. I'll literally manifest money, like all of it. And that's nothing, because we're much bigger than this. Like, all of it is just energy. It's just a play of energy. But I love when that type of stuff happens, because it's giving me more fuel and fueling my being to know I'm on the right path. Because it's like, okay, y'all keep, you like, I wonder if anyone realizes this, but anything that's external in this world never existed before we left to create it. Like, the buildings, everything was a manifestation. This phone I'm on, the diamonds and the stuff in it, and the crystals and the man-made materials in it, and the tripod that this is on, the tree, all of it, even the organic materials, it still was a manifestation of a divine mind. So everything here is going to be lower. That's why the awakening journey is an individual process. We're not getting through this all saying grand rising to each other, though I do understand the energy and the love that's behind speaking like that. It's just I tend to find that a lot of people very early on in my journey, a lot of people who had the spiritual ego and the spiritual frame were some of the most judgmental motherfuckers I've ever seen or ever came across. And you know, and that's why I keep a lot of this to myself, and I stay inwards a lot, and I share my findings and some of my sacred things here and there, but I really allow my tribe to come, because I do find a lot of it is more of people like the intellectual game of it and want to be, you know, as B.O.B. put in his new song in Elements too, a lot of people want to be wordsmiths rather than really give you game. Like, I don't know how you gatekeep spirituality, to be real with you. Like, an awakening can't be gatekept. You're gonna awaken the things from yourself. No matter if you're in the satsang, and I'm not talking down on any of these practices, by the way, but no matter if you're in the satsang, Hinduism, Buddhism, any of these, like, you know, Catholicism, I don't know, Gnosticism, all this stuff, it's like, you know, we're older than this. I mean, some of us who are, I mean, and I want to say that anyways, technically everybody's old, but technically the lives that you incarnated on earth, you could be young in a sense. So somebody this could be their first time on earth, and they're meeting me, and I could have been here 4,000 times. You know, the story of Buddha had to reincarnate like 1,000 times before he got this right. So, you know, that's real. I used to say when my awakening first happened around 18, that I was here like 300 times, like tops. If people are calling me an old soul and I have deja vu every damn day, and the deja vu really doesn't change, the only thing that changes is when I shift shift dimensions, and I know that I made a choice that just put my life on this path, that I just shifted over I just changed the movie reel slightly, but it's still all deja vu. I can't get away from it. But man, I'm yapping. I'm saying all this to just say that you are the key. You are the power, dude. You are the power. Don't mistake my passion for anything you may be feeling right now. This is just pure passion. You are the power. You are the source. You're it. You are it. You are it. You are it. That's all I can say. And that is one of the most tough things that anyone is ever going to do, because you have to convince yourself of this truth. You're it. Man, I sat in a lovely solar eclipse video call with these 3 other very powerful women, much older than me. That's who I always resonate with. People who are older in the physical shell. I've never really related with anyone that's my age, and I'm 24 now, but I was just boosted above. Okay, I got a little email, got distracted, you see? That's my fault. It wasn't even a distracted, but I distracted myself. But it was an amazing call, where I remember one of the women just saying how she was talking about her clients and just talking about the things that she manifested, but there was this one point where my jaw was absolutely dropped, because it was a level that I didn't even hit, because I didn't come into that yet. It was much more of a calm process, where if you know me in person, I'm really kind of laid back and just chill. And when she started talking, man, it felt like I was about to like soar through the air. But she was talking about how her destiny was what she programmed, and you're not gonna no one's gonna tell her what's destined for her and written in the story in the book of her. I was like, holy shit, I only had one moment like that, but it was because of external events where I had to stand up and said, throw me under the bus, because we're all here. Like, that's even the story of sin. It's like, I'm not taking any high and mighty road. I did it too, because I was judgmental early on in my journey, because my lower self was cunning. I love to say it. My lower self was cunning. The self that I took on was cunning, man. The things that I had to work through, because I was already not materialistic before I seen what materialism was. When I had my reawakening, my self that I had to overcome was already detached from this world. I was like, I don't put celebrities or any of that on a pedestal. They're just me. Like, I always felt like they're me. We're the ones that give them those titles. We're the ones that put these people on pedestals. So we're all the same, like, you know. And I said that from a place of like, we're all human. There are people that go in and change the world in a sense, but I couldn't even take that as a level of understanding, because you may be a person that comes across somebody like out and about and just change their lives. I've had emails of people that said I've changed their lives off of something I didn't even know I said. I was just speaking from my, what my ideology or my experiences, and that was enough to have somebody email me and change my life. So, I know we're all changing lives in essence, and we're all walking this journey back to self together. So together alone, which that's why it's like, my lower self, take it from me, it was cunning to have to overcome the stuff that I had to overcome, because I already thought I was awakened when I was younger, but I didn't even know how deep this shit got when you're diving depths within yourself. But yeah, man, because when you dive deep and you let go of the persona that you think you are, that type of stuff begins to awaken, man. You sit here like, yo, I'm the power. Like, this 3D reality, I know a lot of people say ignore the 3D and that, but man, use the 3D to overcome it. Like, you don't have to ignore, because I know a lot of people get mixed up in that, but you don't have to ignore the 3D if you change your perception of what you're seeing. You perceive with your mind. That's the key. So when you start to just lord over this consciousness, there's nothing that can touch you. Even when you feel pain isn't even jump started to 10x. Like, when you're in this frequency, you start to realize that pain is even you lord over pain. Like, I don't know, man. It's just something that you have to embody and feel. And that's why I say, when you come across those who truly embody their God self, or really put on the Godhead, or really awaken to this truth, it's like looking into a mirror. And that's why I really love bouncing off of people who are awakened. It's beautiful, because when you really come across someone who's awakened or on that journey, there is no offense. Y'all can't be offended, because you realize you're just talking to you. Like, and I'm talking about, like, from what I've experienced, I've never come across somebody awakened who I genuinely personally felt something bubble up. Because if you feel that bubble up, then that means there's something that you can still work on, because it's something that, you know, is triggering you to change and alter. And I've even heard this with certain people who are awakening, when, you know, they hear something that I say and they go, wow, you're like, I'm absorbing this so much to the point where you're just cracking me in half. And yeah, and I feel like that's what the higher consciousness is supposed to do. It's supposed to come in and really take you out of everything that you think you may be, and really just purify and cleanse everything that you think you may be. Just take that out. And it's just beautiful to me. This whole thing is just really beautiful to me. And that's what this video was going to be about. This energy that just comes in and just cleanses you and gets rid of any doubt. To me, anytime I've talked to someone who's truly just on this, and they're going and they're doing the inner work and the shadow work and whatever you want to call it, when they talk, it will feel powerful. Like, it will give you chills to the point where it feels like it's yourself talking to yourself. Because in reality, there really is one of us here. It's like me shooting this video, I'm no different from you watching the video. I'm just you. It's like I'm literally just talking to myself right now. And see, and that's why I say, like, the true inner work could never be selfish, because by doing your inner work and being authentically yourself, you aid someone else in being themselves. How much you can even call back to when you felt inspired by somebody. That's essentially how it works. It's like inspiration. You can't feel nothing other than inspiration when you come across someone who's being authentically themselves and genuinely embodies not really caring what anybody thinks about them. That, to me, is the true awakening. That's why I genuinely love the person who looks like, if the whole entire world goes against them or dislikes them, that they are comfortable in their own frame. They know that, hey, I put myself here, or I'm here on this world. I'm in this even if the entire world goes against me. But what you end up finding is it's never really like that. You're never truly alone, which is just another beautiful realization, is that you're connected in essence. Like, brothers and sisters in spirit, you're never truly alone. So yeah, and that's why I think I already said it in the intro. That's why I say, again, with just saying that made me kind of want to double back to that. If you ever want to DM me, or you ever, man, I will bombard you with voice notes. I can yap all day long about this stuff, because truthfully, in my own personal reality, there's no one around me who I really talk to about it, unless it's long distance. But when it comes to the physical reality, I usually just stay silent, because I already know. I've already been on this journey a long time, so I already know how to operate around the 3D. It doesn't even affect me. Like, the 3D has become so dreamlike to me that I don't even pay. I just stay in the inner world, because that's the real world. This is just the result of that. So this is being so real, but man, yeah. So I said this first part was going to be talking about the stillness, but I guess the second part's I'm going to touch on the stillness. But yeah, man, it's such a beautiful realization when you realize you're it. But that is one of the toughest things you will try to do for anyone. If you're somebody who feels like they came to spread the word or bring in a higher consciousness, or they feel compelled to speak, even if people aren't going to truly understand or resonate with what they've got to say at the time being, is that you can't convince someone that they are the key. You cannot convince someone that it's themselves. And even sometimes when you point to that degree, sometimes they think that the self that you're talking about is the self that they need to dissolve to wake up to the true self that they are. They'll be like, oh, so it's myself, so there's no work I need to do. Okay, thank you, I'm good to go. No. You need to put in work, shadow work. You need to uproot that. Even if you're someone who didn't have the quote unquote what would look like a real traumatic past, there's still conditioning that you've taken on from your environment and your parents around you that you can shed to return more to that purer self. And then it'll be realized who is the one that is truly the I am. And I think this is a good stopping point for this segment of the video. I don't even know if I'm gonna put timestamps. Maybe I should just keep going, but I'll do this just in case the recording gets, ends up getting interrupted. But I think this is a good stopping point from this part, and then I will go into the stillness, because it's all gonna end up wrapping up and coming back around to self. But I'll talk about the things that I really had to realize. And remember, when I go to point to this stuff, don't take it as I'm telling you to go out and do these things. Actually, Muji, I love this dude. He's like a guru that people go to. But remember, I love my awakening journey, because when I awakened, I demanded to my higher self or source to only bring me in connection to the people who are telling you that you are the key, and nobody that is trying to sell you something or sell you some BS like, oh, make sure you're saying grand rising or become vegan, because that's the key to enlightenment. I said, source, you gotta wade me through that, because I'm gonna be doing battle with these people non-stop. And trust me, in the beginning of my awakening, I was going to bat against these. I was, motherfucker, you don't need vegetables. I don't even feel that internally. I already know. Like, that is some BS. And this was off of no books. This was just awakening to the spirit. Me being spirit. I was, oh, hell no. That is, not for me. Sorry. I'm not going to eat collard greens and everything until my pineal pops. No, like, my pineal popped without vegetables, and that's how I already knew. But I only came into that realization recently, that when I had my awakening around 18 and everything started untwisting, I was having deja vu. I could move my hand, and it felt like as I moved my hand, a car would go down the street at the same time. Man, I could tell y'all some stuff that, dude, when you awaken to what this is, oh man, it's like I would feel hungry, and then all of a sudden, a soap opera or something that my mom was watching, like a reality TV show, all of a sudden the women on the eating would be like, yeah, or they wouldn't be eating yet. They would be like, you guys want to order food and get some food? I'd be like, what? Simultaneously, at the same time, I'm on the phone with my cousin who said, did you have anything to eat yet? And I was like, oh, I don't, nah. And she said, well, maybe you should get some food. Maybe you're hungry. And then my mom would say, oh, are you hungry? While simultaneously, 3 things back-to-back synchronicity, while the TV is also talking about people that were going to order food. I was like, oh no. When stuff like this was happening, I said, oh, I know reality. Oh man, there's some stuff I could tell y'all. But let's get to the other half of the video, because I'm going to touch on this stuff for the whole August Ascension thing. But let's go. Jumping right back in here. I'm gonna tie my jacket to my waist, but to tell y'all really quickly, yeah, man, when I go to make these pointings, I say, like, don't take what I'm gonna say literally literal, but this is what it means to really come out of the world, and everything that every liberated being was talking about, whether it be Christ, Krishna. Shout out to Mujiji, because I always quote this video that my cousin sent me. I love it, because she sent me it to just as a reminder, like, remember, these external forces and these mind attacks will come for you. And every liberated being, whether it be Christ, whether it be Buddha, whether it be Krishna, whether it be any of them, Prophet Muhammad's, any ones that you can name, any liberating beings had these challenges that you are going to go through to get you back to self, because they're not really obstacles, they're testing you. And for me, I had an ex-partner who, in these videos, I explained them if you go back and watch these videos, who pepper sprayed me. And I'm gonna be a bit more open with what happened. They actually, attempted, and they said that this wasn't their intention, and I actually have a video of them admitting this, but attempted to have me in some bondage. And I realized, like, holy crap, man, this system will really try to take out the people who are awakened. It will that's a really odd sound. I've never heard that for the entirety that I've been up here, but it will really try to take out those who are awakened, and it'll rise. It will really bring you up to the test if you believe the things that you speak, and it'll really test if you're the embodiment of what you say. I don't know if that sound is going to be a bit, maybe it'll stop. So maybe hopefully it's not too loud. But anyways, maybe I could use my mind to make it stop. Crazy. That was such a cool synchronicity. That was so badass. I gotta tell y'all, when I originally shot this video last night too, the manifestation that came true blew my mind. But yo, anyways, woo, that was cool. That was cool. I'm sure someone will find a logical reason, but man, I'm taking that as what it was. That was dope. Every liberated being has had these challenges come, man. All these physical things that really come to test them. And man, I told you, my ex-partner straight up pepper sprayed me on my birthday. And what's insane is I tell this story because there was a woman who wanted to know, like, I still don't understand why Jesus ate with Judas, even though he knew Judas would betray him. And I said, oh, here, I got something for you. And this happened in a Zoom call that we talked. Well, this didn't happen. This happened on a live of Life is a Dream. That's his channel. His name is Tone. But I remember that night in a Zoom call, he wanted me to tell the story again because there could be a key in there for somebody to pick up. But I remember when I told this woman why Jesus ate with Judas, even though knowing Judas was going to betray him, and it was because if you're of the higher consciousness, nothing in this world can touch you or make you react. You'll still have your moments where you react and feel your emotions. That's why I say I want to be very careful when I point, because some people take the pointings a little out. Oh, it started again, but that's all right. Some people take the pointings out of context. I'm not saying, because people will think of this when it comes to awakening, and just because you're awakened, it does not mean to let people just walk on you and you are this divine being and nothing can touch you. No, because if a robber breaks in your house and stuff, are you not still gonna handle that? No, like I'm saying, it's your connection to this world that you release. You release the emotional connection, but you still go about the human doings, of course, but you are no longer, you have awakened to the fact that you are spirit having a human experience. So things should not have the same, you will see the change. You will see the change because you'll see that you connect to things in this world differently, but you can still interact and go to the barbecue and stuff with people and everything. This was funny. I say the barbecue because in the Zoom call we had like the other night, this was something that the lady brought up, like, when they go to the barbecue, she feels like I'm out of place. I'm not relating to the people. And it's like, yes, it will be like that, but still go to the barbecue. Just know you have awakened to a deeper sense that a barbecue doesn't even exist. That none of this exists. But that's what I say about the pepper spray. The pepper spray didn't even exist. It's all energy. And I didn't even react. And that's why the Bible explained that with Jesus eating with Judas, because to me, the woman that I said that to, she even said, her instant, and I knew how she grabbed it, because you realize how certain people are grabbing your pointers. But she even said, oh, I get it. You weren't quick to anger. No, see, you're trying to understand it from the very mind that's trying to understand my experience. What did you understand it for? And I could be misunderstanding her, but this is how I realized that it was taken. Oh, so you weren't quick to anger. You were trying to already understand my experience from the level of consciousness that you were at, when I literally just told you, no, there was no anger. I didn't feel anything towards my ex-partner doing this to me. I didn't feel anger, rage, emotion. And you think about like some of the top psychologists trying to explain this stuff, and no, it wasn't even a desensitization. I'm not the body. So while events and stuff can still hurt me, and I felt the pepper spray, there was no emotional attachment to the event. I didn't feel like it was someone doing it to me. What I immediately, my mind did after the whole event happened was literally like this. She is spirit, and whatever she attached herself to and called love, which is, if she considered me love and considered the actions that I was doing hurting her, she was all the way justified in her mind to do that to me. But to someone who's of the lower consciousness, they're not going to understand that. They're going to immediately take it as, get away from that person, assault you. And that's what immediately everyone did in my reality. So many people had different feelings on what happened, but while I'm sitting here not feeling the offense. And I even had peers around me try to make me feel like, you need to dislike this person. No, I'm of a higher, this world cannot touch me. I'm power. What can you do to a God? You can take out my physical form, but you cannot have me emotionally connected to this world, because I know this world runs off of energy, vibration, and energy. So that's why I said, who's going to die on what they speak? And that's why I say there's a lot of commercial spiritualists out here and commercial spirituality of people who are selling you this, who don't actually believe what they're talking about. And I'm not saying anything bad with any of that's going on, but I just genuinely mean, who are the ones who are actually standing on what they're saying? Because when you run into those individuals, then you got yourself a master teacher. Brother Panic even said it, if a piano fell on my head today, you best believe I programmed that to happen to me. And that's what I'm saying for me. I programmed that to happen. I needed that to happen to prove the things that I talk about, because I needed to prove that reprogramming your mind could go to such a degree and a level that you come out of the world to where physical things happen to you and you're not even fazed. You get debt, bills, any of that, and you don't fear any of it. What KRS-One said in the song, bills, you should not fear. Thrills, you should not stare. Focus your attention on God, because it's right here. We're divine beings, bro. Like, you can't fake this. I mean, you can fake it. There's people faking it, but you can't bypass the work. You're going to meet someone who does the work and is about the work, and it's a different energy. It's a different embodiment. Like, I am. You can't, even the one going external speaking right now, since I said I was going to speak about this, I'm going external right now. This isn't even the true me. The true me is when the video ends and I'm just sitting in silence. But because I have the 3D mastered to a certain degree, I can still interact with people and go external when I need to. But most of the time, I don't really even feel a calling or a pull to. I really just, it's like the saying, don't speak unless spoken to, minus the fear and the tensity of that quote. But it's really true. I really don't speak unless I'm spoken to, because what's the point? If I go external, I realize that the same concepts and conditions that I had to ascend out of and transcend and come out of are the things that most individual souls, like sometimes I say lost souls, are talking about, are still, and I'm just not of that consciousness anymore. I don't understand it, but I do understand it. Does that make sense? It's like I don't have an emotional tie to it, but I still get when people go to the grocery store or the gas station and the prices get higher and inflation and all this in the economy. But when you're awakened, you don't connect to that stuff the way you do anymore. You've come out of the world. Like, that stuff doesn't even, I have to literally have somebody break that down or explain to me what's going on in the economy if I really want to, because I just don't see it like that. I did a money manifestation last night, and I was just like, wow, man, money is really energy. Like, it is attracted to you. Like, that is real. And that's why I don't talk down on affirmations and everything. Even non-dualism. I see non-dualism now trending that people are coming into. And I just realized how spirit and consciousness is coming through and working its way into this reality where it just keeps dropping more bombs and stuff. Because now that I see non-dualism becoming a thing, the people that are into non-dualism and the souls that are spreading it, I'll say the souls that are spreading it, are literally telling you how you are just everything. You are the awareness. You are the I am. So it's just, I am everything. So just with that should be able to enable you to rise to a high. This is actually deja vu. I've done this video before. Well, I already said that from the beginning. Wow. I've done this video before. Wow. And I just realized in a parallel reality, I didn't finish it because of the noise. But it doesn't matter. We're here now. We're power. This message is getting through no matter what, even if I have to speak louder. But yeah, man, you are the I am. You're the I amness. You're the I amness. No one can take that away from you. No one can even touch this place that's within you. And it's separate. You know it's separate because the one observing is observing all the pain that happens to you. It's observing all the highs and lows of life. It's observing all the emotions. So you should ask yourself, what's that? What is that? Man, it's beautiful. This whole thing is really beautiful. Everything becomes brighter and beautiful when you have this realization. So you should never fear. You should never feel like, and the biggest thing is don't get caught up in the illusion. Don't get caught up in the Maya, because this is the Maya. And the mind is the illusion too. But never feel like you're alone, because we're all one. We're alone in this together. But anyways, I love all these realizations. Everything is feeling dreamlike. And I will, because that's going on in the background, I will chop it short. But I realized that I continued the video in this a lot longer than I did before in a parallel reality or a past life, whatever you want to say. It's all happening in the eternal now. This is the eternal now. But true, it's the silence. It's the sitting in stillness. Even now, this is the biggest thing I want to explain. When you hit this level, and I'm no better than you, I want to make that a really big point. Any real raw teacher, and I don't consider myself a teacher, is going to tell you that you're the teacher. You are the one that is going to awaken to this truth. But you or me, your mind is going to get to a stillness that, like where I'm at right now, where I'm not even thinking about that noise. I'm in such a stillness where everything that's coming out my mouth is literally purely coming from the heart. I'm not even speaking from the brain or intellectually. I don't even have to think about what I say next. It literally just comes through. I just sit, boom, it comes through, and then we could go off on something else. But I don't even have to intellectually recall any of this, because it's my experience, man. I'm telling you, when I first awakened, how I know you're coming out of the world too, is when I first awakened, I seen people with no faces. I had a partner at the time that was even said, yo, you're crazy, or you need to calm down because people will think you're crazy. She didn't even understand what I was saying. Shoot, I was having dreams about things that she was doing that when I faced her with them in the physical reality, she revealed them to me and was like, wow. She didn't even know what was happening to me. When I ended up reconnecting with her like a year or 2 years later, she ended up telling me, I think it was a year later, she ended up telling me that she was in the manifestation, and then she was like, yo, this shit is really real. But she was the one calling me crazy in the beginning, or that people are gonna think I'm crazy. And I didn't care, man. Call me crazy, because I gotta figure out what's happening to me. This was really early on in my journey. And man, I had visions about her doing stuff, and I asked her about it, and it came to light, and I was like, wow. And just, it was insane. And then, not to mention, yeah, I've seen beings with no faces. Like here, I've seen like the walls. It felt like the walls were talking. And this is all, I'm telling you, this is all not on drugs. I thought I was on drugs. Like my pineal popped, bro. Popped. It was like DMT was released in my body. Everything, it felt like, and still it feels like this to this day, but to a much more controlled and alchemized way, where I feel like I am just the source of everything now, where I would put my hand on the doorknob and my hand would form around the doorknob to open the door and go through doors. And when I would wash my hands and put water in my face in the bathroom, it felt like I was the water itself and putting it on, and my skin was the water. Bro, I'm telling y'all, when I first awakened, it was it was out the I was so sensitive to the world around me that I had to close my eyes. I had to sit and breathe. And this happened to my bro too, where we were playing video games, and every single person we came across in the video game was deja vu, and every message we got was deja vu, and we were getting visions of remembering that there was like, when like one of the timelines ended because of a nuclear thing where the whole world just destroyed itself, and we were playing the game during this nuclear it was, I'm telling y'all, it was insane. I had the same dream. If you go and watch Lisa Left Eye's documentary, she had a dream where the sun was 3 times the size yeah, me too. I had that dream when I was 18. The sun was huge in the sky, and I was like standing under it like, what the and talking to someone next to me like, what's happening? And they even said like it could be the world ending, or it was just natural like this. I had dreams where there was 2 moons in the sky, where funny enough, that solar eclipse we had, people said that they seen 2 moons during that. Well, if that's the case, then I had dreams about this years ago when I was 18, and I'm 24 now. So think about that shit. Think about the stuff that I was seeing, and I had such a natural like awakening to it. I would say I had a really natural awakening, because I didn't have any psychedelics like mushrooms or DMT or anything that took me to that level. But man, dude, like I really think about that, it was insane. Like I had a very insane popping of I had to like, I was begging my higher, I was begging source to let me come down. I was like, please, 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 just make me normal. Please allow me to be normal. But what I realized is there was no going back. I was not going to be normal anymore. And I wish, and I don't wish because everything ended up playing out the way it did. But the reason I say I wish is I wish if I could go back and turn it around, I wouldn't change anything that happened. I really, really wouldn't. But one thing that I would go and alter is I wish around that time I knew about manifestation, dude. Manifestation at that time. Because if I knew that, bro, if I knew that at the time, dude, I would have been unstoppable with what was happening to me. And also I did end up, of course, everything that I'm at right now and every place I traveled is a manifestation of something in the past and that I've programmed to start along the journey of. But back then, if I knew this, dude, I would have never came back to Colorado because when we had our awakening, we drove to Colorado at 18. We said, nope. We got there. We said, hell nah, let's go. We were going through so much stuff. Like, we just had to hop in the car and drove across the country. Like, that's the level of just, that's the level we just hit. We went above and beyond, man. We went far. We went far. It was insane. We went far. And my cousin, she always says she has these dreams about me traveling and all this stuff and being this nomad, and man, that really came to pass. And I know there's many more adventures, but I don't know, because back when I was 18, I also had this wild dream about 2025, so I really wonder what's coming. We'll see, I guess. I programmed my destiny already, so I don't know. I'm just gonna have fun with everything I've realized and know now. But man, I'm telling y'all, it was everything. I had partners, man. I had this one partner, lover. She literally came back to tell me that, like, thank you for everything that I tried to tell her in the past and everything that she ended up working on, where she ended up taking DMT and being like, hold on, is your cousin in the kitchen eating ice right now? She tapped into some crazy stuff, she tapped into what I tapped into naturally, but it required DMT for her to tap into it. But I remember ended up telling her that I was gonna run into her and all this stuff in the future and all of this stuff, and it ended up happening, all the stuff that I ended up telling her. But man, I had some wild stuff go down with her, and I even tried to tell my partner who pepper sprayed me about this crazy experience I had with her. And I had the most insane, wild adventures with this particular partner, where we were out. I had owls land by me in broad daylight. I had everything like that, so it was insane. I had owls land next to me in broad daylight, and that was very insane for me. And even the people that were walking on the bridge were like, do you see that owl? Like, the owl will not take its eyes off of you. Like, I don't know, Native American blood, whatever. I even had a girl who was actually indigenous, when I posted the video, say like, yo, they represent a lot of like, she was telling me a lot, and I was like, wow. And I didn't even, it was just crazy. It was just, my adventure for the last 7 years has been insane. The stuff that I've went through, I can't even, it's been a movie, dude. And that's why I tell you, like, awakening is you. Like, nobody, like, I don't even know if some of these individuals, and I don't want to say that it's wrong or anything like that. I don't want to say anyone that, because I know a lot of the NDEers wake up to it. So that's why I like watching some of the NDEers. But I've only recently just started watching the people at NDEs, and to see if they were saying the same thing, and they really were. And I had my best friend who, when we awakened together, he fell through 5-story building and had he had an NDE where he awakened to all this stuff and got his psychic shit activated, whatever. I'm really, like, summarizing this very quickly because I don't even have to, but I want to get back now to do some more things because I'm just high. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I want to get back to physical reality while I'm here. But I want to like manifest some stuff. Like I'm high on this energy. I'm high on my own supply. Really, man. Drink from the own waters of your own cistern. But where am I? Oh man, I just went off. But yeah, I had a personal NDE, so I had a personal person who had an NDE, so I never really had to watch any near-death experiences. But what I was trailing all of this to say is I really wonder if the people who talk about, oh, we're Pleiadian and Lumerian and all this, and I channel all the highest star systems, have really went through these adventures, because I'm like, bro, I would be saying, I'm the Pleiadian. I'm a freaking alien from the things I've been experiencing. That was deja vu. Me saying that whole phrase right there. But I'm an alien from the half of the things that I've went through. Pleiadian and Lumerian is in my DNA. Shit, I'm the original Atlantean. I'm before this. Based on the things I'm seeing, I don't know why people want to be these higher beings so bad, or this. You are the higher being. What the fuck is going on? Yo, I'm being real with y'all. Oh man, I'm being real with y'all. I'm not saying anything is wrong or bad with it. But genuinely, you guys are awesome. I know it's awesome to channel these beings. Oh no, this is how my jacket. I mean, if it happens, it's how it happens. But maybe I shouldn't have been doing that at the same time. But you're epic. Dude, I feel like I sound like my nerdy self. No, I am a nerd. I'm a big nerd. But honestly, Pleiadian what? Pleiadian, dude. First of all, I hear so many individuals who are on this journey, and like people like, you know, Dolores Cannon, all these beings who people hold in high regard, who say Earth is the place where you want to be at. It is the school. Mad beings try to incarnate here because they like the game of Earth. Some of them like the game. There's a waiting list to get here. Man, I hear all sorts of things. Well, then, if that's true, what if Lumerians and Pleiadians and all this stuff are here, or we're here anyways, which I've met entities in dreams that are probably similar to what people are saying in these videos. Like, I've met beings of love that literally have told me, remember love, remember yourself, you know, and I'd be like, yeah, I got you. And I remember being in certain realms. I didn't even get into that whole ordeal yet with the dreams. I was going to do that in this video. Shoot, let's do it right now to end the video, man. But yeah, like, this is the most epic place. You're at, like, yo, your soul, if you awaken to you, I feel like you, I mean, do you know, if your heart is telling you to talk about Pleiadians, Lumerians, and all that stuff, and you're channeling those beings and all that stuff, because I even love, I love this one woman who I'm going to collab with soon. I think we're going to still do this collab where she channels the dragon realms and everything like that. And if your heart is really showing you you're tapping into these realms, and your imagination is God, so, you know, you're tapping into these realms, then do what you got to do. But I know certain people get caught up in the titles and the wanting to be a part of these, but you are the most epic thing. Like, shit, I'm kicking it with the Pleiadians and Lumerians when I go to sleep, and I'll be kicking it with the dragons. So, you know, it's just like, you're the all, you're the one. But yeah, man, let me tell y'all about these dreams really quickly before I get off here, because I was gonna walk back home. But man, like, y'all, like, I had some insane dreams where this woman, a light, took me to different realms. And this is actually when I went to this dragon type realm, and she told me, she was like, you know, remember me, love, remember yourself. And she came, like, somebody told me that it was like Great Mother Sophia or whatever, but came to me in one realm. I was like saving kids. I had this green energy, and I like was exploding with energy, and this big booming voice told me to, like, remember who you are and address me by my human name. It said, like, remember who you are, Rel. And I just ignited with all this power, and like I destroyed this whole thing, and then woke up, like, bro. And I like to tell these stories because like this is the work that you be doing in these other realms, where I want to say like where do you think people channel anime from, and all of these shows that be telling you what you are, in Marvel superheroes and comics and Harry Potter and all this stuff. And then not to mention that, but what was I gonna say? Oh, I lost my train of thought. No, maybe I wasn't meant to say it yet. Well, all I want to say is you're the power. Oh, it came back. Well, not exactly probably the thing, because I always say this, but that's why I laugh when certain people tell me to get back in alignment, because my subconscious mind and my dreams are showing me that. So if I need to get back in alignment, then we're all in trouble. Now I speak for myself, but we're in trouble. If you're telling me to get back in alignment, then one of us here is lying about being tapped in. Somebody here is lying. It's all part of the process though, folks. Remember, you're the power, you're the love. Love you guys. Always will be love. When you start tapping into this, man, you'll see everything from dreams to visions to this to that. You'll see the world warp around you. Remember that I am power. I am is the highest thing for manifestation. But that I am is talking about a deeper thing within you, that is the stillness. That is why it's about detaching from this world to come out of the world, as Christ said. You are the Christ consciousness. So what you said, come out of the world. You're detaching from this reality. That's why meditation is so powerful, because you're detaching from this reality. But your whole life is the meditation. Your whole life is the prayer. Anyways, love y'all. I sincerely mean that. And I hope I did this video way better in this lifetime than I've done it in any other life, because I genuinely mean that. You are the power. You are the power. Awaken to that. I am, man. You are attracting everything. Abundance, prosperity, and everything for yourself. And I will never lie to you. You are the key. You are the key. I can't lie about my experiences also. You are the key. Love y'all. I'm gone. I keep looking over there, by the way, because I was trying to figure out. I really wonder what that sound is, but I'm not going to go explore. You know how black people go missing in horror movies? No, I'm just joking.